Hello and welcome to your favorite video game boy. Drumroll please! Kristoffer, aka FerloPixel. I'm going to review the newest Pokemon game, Let's Go Eevee. The Let's Go games are a lot different than previous Pokemon games. For example, you can't battle wild Pokemon anymore. You're forced to catch them in this mini-game. You still get EXP from catching them, but when you have to catch them, you'll end up with like 100 or thousands of useless Pokemon. Plus, ironically, it actually makes it harder to catch Pokemon because you can't hurt them or give them status effects. So you just kinda have to chuck a Pokeball at the Pokemon and hope for the best. And it's motion controls. Everyone loves motion controls, don't they? This Pokemon game actually has a different intro than most, because when you boot up the game, you don't talk to a professor. Eevee jumps out at the TV and it's quite an adorable cutscene. And you can actually see if your partner Pokemon is gonna be male or female here, because they added gender differences to Eevee's. So if the Eevee's tail is like the normal spiky detail, it's a male. And if the tail has a heart shape, it's a female. In my case, I got a female. After that cutscene, you'll talk to Professor Oak like normal and you choose your name and gender. And of course you choose the girl because why would you want to play as a boy? Then the game starts and it's the same as every other Pokemon game. You start in a town with less houses than inhabitants because people sleep on the street, I guess. And then you meet your friendly rival. I don't like friendly rivals because they're not rivals. Because with Blue, you hated him and you wanted to defeat him. But with a friendly rival, the motivation isn't really there. Then you walk into the tall grass and you see Professor Oak talking to some Pidgeys for some reason. And before he can go to the lab and give you your starter Pokemon, you get ambushed by a fucking Eevee, and then it introduces the catching minigame to you. You yeet a Pokeball into Eevee's skull, and after you give an Eevee brain damage, it introduces a button on the main menu where you can play with him, and he joins your team. Button where it says play with Eevee is like a minigame where you pet her and feed her berries. It's really cute. Then you go to Viridian City and you meet the best character in the game. Blue! He's still in the game, but he's not your rival. And you're gonna meet him again a few times in the game. Then you go to Viridian Forest and you can actually catch a Pikachu, which I did even if you chose Let's Go Eevee, so it doesn't matter what game you get. You can still get the other Pokemon. You can also catch Bulbasaur in Viridian Forest, but I wouldn't recommend it because you can get it in Pewter City, and there it has like 4 perfect IVs. Later in the game you can also get a Charmander with perfect IVs and a Squirtle with perfect IVs. You just have to catch a lot of Pokemon, like it's 30 with Bulbasaur, 50 with Charmander, and 60 with Squirtle. You can also trade Cantonian Pokemon for Alolan Pokemon. The thing with trading is that Pokemon are usually underleveled and have to grind a lot. What I did was go into Diglett Cave and combo catch Diglets. You're not gonna get that much EXP, but you're gonna get more than usual if you combo catch them. Then you go to the SSN, you get cut, you go into Vermilion Gym and get the badge. Then you go to Lavender Town, and this is the part where the game gets kinda convoluted and you have to go and backtrack a lot. First you have to go into Pokemon Tower and battle your rival. Then you battle Jesse and James afterward. They talk about the Rocket Hideout in Celadon City, so you have to go to Celadon City and beat the Rocket Hideout. Then you go to Saffron City and go into Silphco and beat that. You get a Master Ball from the President and you get the Silph Scope from Giovanni, which you have to use in Pokemon Tower, where you can reveal ghosts and then you can rescue Mr. Fuji. After you've rescued Mr. Fuji, you're gonna get a Pokeflute, which you can use to wake up the 2 Snorlaxes, and then you can finally explore freely again. The next gym is in Fuchsia City, and here you can go to the Go Park to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Let's Go. Blah blah blah, you go to Cinema Island, then you go into the mansion because the gym is locked, and you read the backstory from Mewtwo, which is a lot better in this game. You actually go into the basement where they made Mewtwo and you see like glass vats that are destroyed, and you see books thrown around, presumably from when Mewtwo was created. In the basement you'll find a key to the gym, and then you can battle Blaine afterwards. Blaine is a lot of fun. He has this quiz show and it's really overdramatic. and when you get an answer right, he dances beside you. Then you go into Viridian City and battle Giovanni, and actually after you beat Giovanni, Blue becomes the gym leader and you can battle him later. Then you go back to Pallet Town and you get Mega Stones for the original starters from Blue before you go to the Elite Four. In Victory Road, you can actually catch Moltres. You can also catch the other birds in the story actually. The Elite Four is the same. You got the 4 originals from Kanto and your rival is a champion. After you've beaten your rival, you get registered into the Hall of Fame and then you enter Postgame. In Postgame, you unlock this thing where you can fly freely around on a few select Pokemon like Charizard, Aerodactyl, and Dragonite. This means you'll be able to fly over fences and ledges, so you'll get around a lot faster. They also introduced this thing called Master Trainers, where a certain trainer specializes in one Pokemon, and it's really good. And if you beat them, you gain their rank. Like if you beat the Eevee Master, you'll gain the rank of Eevee Master. You can also catch Mewtwo in the Postgame, and after you caught him, you'll meet Green. She'll get mad at you because you caught Mewtwo before her, and she'll battle you. After you beat her, she does this weird thing where she throws Pokeballs at you and tries to catch you along with Mewtwo. After you defeat her around like 10 Master Trainers, you'll get the option to battle Red. He's mute as always, and if you defeat him, you'll gain the rank of Battle Master. They didn't change a lot in Let's Go, and I think it shows. It's very lackluster, but it's still a fun game, so I would give it an 8. But when you look at the game and its lackluster post-game, coupled with that you're forced to use motion controls and they removed a lot of core mechanics, I have to lower the score to 6.5. That's my review for Let's Go Eevee. Hope you enjoyed.